So I am going all out with this kit in painting. I mean, it is a kit that looks good on its own. I've seen pictures of it. But to get the most out of it, it needs work. Definitely does. Looking at the armored parts, the white, the off-white, or the gray, you could say, the black, the yellow goldish tone color, the red, definitely needs to have that extra layer of color, because we all know that fact that it looks better when it's painted. We know what it looks like when it's not painted, but it needs to be painted to bring it out the best quality you can. The big question is, what are we going to do with the inner frame? Because that's another thing. The kit will look good on its own, but with all the open canopy and stuff like that, the hatches, the internals, it's where it shines. And some of these parts that I was reviewing looks okay, but others I'm saying to myself, wow, maybe it does need painting, maybe it does not. This, of course, I'm going back to the time when I built the Master Raid EX Strike Freedom Gundam, because that had a lot of layer of colors in there, its inner frame, and I was a bit, sad the fact that I had to put all those armored parts and you can barely see what was inside. But with that, I want to do it right with this one. Now, let's review the colors here. Let's look at this for a second. So, we have the white. 90% white with a 10% of neutral gray. We have the gray, the light gray parts, which is supposedly 90% white again, with 10% neutral gray, but a small dose of blue gray. Really? Not blue gray. Yeah, blue gray. Oh my god. Blue gray. So what is it, a small dose? Like a drop or two? I don't know. So the external armor is black, but then there is a dark blue tone. And the dark blue tone is 40% cobalt blue, bright blue 30%, 20% purple, and 10% black. The external armor is yellow, but it has a combination of yellow-orange and white. The yellow-orange is 80%, while the white is 20%. And then the red is 100% red, but it's red matter. The cockpit is also red, but it's wine red 50, red matter 30, white 20. Frame structure, so we have the silver part. So 70% silver, 30% gray. Frame structure, there is some white frame structure inside. So it's 100% white, kind of similar to this part here. Frame structure gray. So that's 60% gray, blue gray 30, and black 10. There's dark gray parts, 60% gray, 20% black, 10% cobalt blue, 10% purple. And then finally, brown parts. There's some brown parts here. 40% red brown, 30% gray, and 30% midnight blue. All right, that's a whole listing of colors there. I'm not into mixing, of course. I may get wrong, especially the amount of paint we're going to be needing, and we're going to need a lot of paint here, a lot. Now, I have all my best paints ready to display here and show you what I'm going to use. The most important of all, the white. Thankfully, I got myself more paint than I bargained for and prepared. And I didn't know that Gundam Planet, who is the same place I got this kit, is also selling Gaia colors. They didn't have a display, but they're online. And I said, all right, let me pick up the basic colors that I know I'm going to be needing for this guy. So, I got pure white. This purest of white for this. That's going to be, of course, for the armor. We got that. For the red, I know that the outer red parts is not going to be the same as the inner red part, because I think that cockpit one, I don't know if that's necessary. But we're going to be using number 3, bright red, for this. For the yellow colors, now I did get yellow. However, I do have number 21 yellow enemy color, which I believe looks a lot better than this. I will be doing a test on this and see which one would be fine. I'm more leaning towards this than I am with that. We're going to keep it there for now. For the black, pure black, right here. Now, it says that there's dark blue, and that is around maybe the chest area, maybe the cuff. I'm gonna have to pull up the parts that I just looked at and see which one would be appropriate. Now, I don't have dark blue. Do I need dark blue? No, because in all due fairness, the black is black. It's black anywhere. It's everywhere black. And I kind of like black. However, I will search to see if there's a dark blue tone by Gaia. We'll reach out to Gundam Planet and see if they have a bottle or so. So for now, we'll be using that. So those are the colors that are primarily exposed on the outside of the kit. But what about the inside, the inner frame? Well, I forgot. We forgot the off-white color. I don't have gray in Gaia, but I do have Foundation Gray by Mr. Finisher. Or Finisher, sorry, Finisher Paints. So that's good. We have that. Now, I have other paints that I'm going to use, and that's for the inner frame. I'm going to say that the gold paint is not going to be painted because it has that nice sheen on it when I looked at it. So why am I going to repaint that and lose that sheen? I will probably top coat it to give it a, gloss coat it so it looks good. But for like the inner frame and all that, I have, so first I have Flat Silver by the Nazca brand. This one's pretty good. I have Gunmetal. That's great for the overall inner frame. If I need to change up the other metallic tone, I have Ice Silver. That's good, right here. And I do have Graphite Black. This has a metallic sheen. And this could be the other tone of the black here. I have 2 bottles of it. I have another bottle of paint which I can't seem to find. I moved a lot of stuff around here. At first I pulled the chrome out, but I think maybe this may not be a good choice. I think that is pretty much it. And if I have to order more paint to for the specific need of the kit, I don't know. We'll figure that out. I mean, I had to have aluminum. That's another nice sheen to this color. It's almost the same when you look at it. I don't know. I think I have a majority of the colors here. That metal parts looks pretty good. The one for the thrusters looks really good. So I don't know if I should be able, if I need to paint that. I really don't. There's one last thing before I begin. Even though this will be painted, am I going to do pre-shading? You know, I like how it looks. I like how the kit represents itself. Technically, it is a new kit, but I want to make it my own. I want it to show a different look to it, where people can see it, and you know, obviously they're going to see it from a distance, but I want them to see it and see how well it looks overall with its design. And I think I am going to do pre-shading. The white is easy. The gray is easy. The yellow, don't know. We'll figure that out. It's the black. How do you pre-shade black? I don't think. Well, I know how to appreciate black. To pre-shade black, all you need to do is paint it black, and then paint it another color that's very, very faded, but highlighted. A highlight. Kind of like what I did with another kit that I don't know where it is at this moment. What was it that I used that I did pre-shading? I've completely forgot which one it was. It came out really good, and unfortunately it wasn't. Oh, that was the Zeta. I believe it was the Zeta Gundam that I did a pre-shading with that, But then again, I guess maybe we'll just leave it the way it is. Just pre-shade the white and the gray and the yellow and the red. Well, I don't know how much of the red's going to be pre-shaded or how it looks, but I am going to pre-shade it. Now, if I decide to make a change during this build, I will. If I'm going to decide to do a different tone, I will. It doesn't have to be exact, but I think that's pretty much the goal here. All right. Let us now begin the long process of me building the Perfect Grade Unleash new Gundam.